What's up, Panther Nation? How are we? It's Thursday, almost Friday. We're almost there. We are almost done with the preseason. Today is obviously see how good is Bryce Young. We're going to dive into that. We're going to dive into the latest news of the Carolina Panthers. And also, we are going to be talking about the 53-man roster projection that I have put together for this team. Now, this is obviously with the cuts that will be made, that in my opinion, these are the guys that are probably going to make the team. Depending, obviously this could change due to the fact of maybe if we pick up some guys after cuts and the waivers and all that, but I'm still putting it in to what we have as of right now. So we'll dive into that today as well. Make sure you pound that like button as much as possible, because the more you like, the more people we can bring into this community, into this show. Right? Feel free to get in the comment section. Love to hear y'all's thoughts through today's live stream. So make sure you get in the comment section. We already got Panthers World in here saying he's doing some research on what I am not too sure, but I guess we will find out. Other than that, check out the links down below. Check out the all my socials are down below as well. Other than that, without further ado, let's get right into it. All right. So we're going to start off with today's first topic, and that is how good is Bryce Young? But that is today's main point of today's channel, besides the 53-man roster. Y'all know what to do. All right. So let's get in the news first, though. Latest news. Cam Newton came out with some reflections recently about his he's kind of been in the spotlight recently. While he hasn't called it quits on his NFL career, he hasn't landed on a new team either. When asked about regrets regarding not winning a Super Bowl, Newton seems content with his football journey. Apparently, he feels that he's achieved success at various levels, including a national championship in college. He didn't secure a Super Bowl victory with us, and his career has been filled with victories and remarkable achievements. So, I wanted, kind of talk about that a little bit. Now, DJ Chark's injuries have been a concern with the wide receiver core. Obviously, Terrace Marshall, Laviska Shenault are dealing with health issues. Terrace Marshall is back, and then Shenault is dealing with a concussion, and he's on the concussion protocol. DJ Chark was absent from practice due to hamstring problems. While we don't know the severity of the injury, any time off the field is kind of worrisome for a team. Coach Wright maintains this next man up mentality, but Chark's absent, I feel like, could impact the passing game, given his speed and skills and what we've seen so far through preseason, the connections he has made with Bryce throughout training camp, and so on and so forth. Right? Chandler Savala's his stock is rising. The offensive line has had its up and downs throughout preseason so far. However, one spotlight has been the performance. I feel like Zavala, especially when he's paired with Taylor Moton on the right side, Zavala made a case for himself to start in the upcoming game against the Detroit Lions. And if he continues to impress, with Cade Mays remain sidelined due to his injury, Zavala could find himself starting week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. And I do just think that despite missing some camp time, I'm pretty optimistic that Zavala about his progress and his potential. And then let's talk about Brian Burns' sack projection. Now, the contract negotiation between the Panthers and the edge rusher Brian Burns have been at a standstill right now, mirroring the situation with for many top-tier edge rushers in the league, Nick Bosa, for example. So while Burns is expected to play week 1, he's been held out of preseason action due to avoid, risk, right? And I predict that Brian Burns will tally up over 10.5 sacks this season in this upcoming season, and probably more. I could even see him I could see him breaking records, how good he is and how good he's been playing. And if that's the case, if he even gets around 10.5 sacks, that would rank him around like 7th in the league. Now, despite his Pro Bowl history, Burns faces challenges, including playing for a team with, lower win projections than others, right? Which could limit the sack opportunities. However, his talent and the Panthers defense strategy could propel him to a double-digit sack season, in my opinion. Now, the Carolina Panthers' journey through this preseason is marked by storylines from, Cam Newton reflecting on his career, Zavala securing that starting spot, and different narratives that are approaching with this team. So that's just a quick little update on the Panthers news and updates. Now let's move on to the big topic. All right. How good is Bryce Young? All right. So I wrote some things down here. What I think of Bryce Young so far, right? What the coaches are saying about Bryce Young, season outlook, and standout moments. Any standout moments, okay? And what do I think about Bryce Young so far? I think Bryce Young is living up to the hype. I think the Panthers wanted him and they traded up to get him with the first overall pick in the draft. He's been everything they expected right from the start. I mean, you could see how he got to where he is. He's got the qualities that Panthers or probably any NFL team is looking for. He's smart. He makes quick decisions. He can handle pressure. Now, even with some issues in protection and not so great route running by his teammates in the preseason game, he still stays calm and he keeps plays alive and he keeps on going, right? He's been accurate. When things break down, he's got the amazing ability to keep the play alive. Plus, he can take a hit. We've seen it, which is important. We don't want him obviously taking too many hits, but he's really such a chill. As general manager Scott Fitter said before the draft, Young even moved up to the first team in off-season workouts, and he was named starting quarterback right after the first practice in training camp. So that has to tell you something, right? Now let's talk about what the coaches are saying, okay? Young has thrown 6 passes in each of the 2 preseason starts, completing 7 of them for 56 yards, no interception or touchdowns, unfortunately. The touchdowns part, obviously. But Frank Wright says that he feels that Bryce Young's in control. He knows what he wants and what needs to be done, and that he's in a good place to start. And then Federer even has mentioned that feels like he's unflappable. He saw that at the draft dinner, and he looks young in the face. He's really, really young, but feels like he's like a grown man, right? And even teammates have noticed it. Tight end Hayden Hurst has even compared him to Joe Burrow. It says he's not in your face like some quarterbacks, and he's focus on film, getting ready. And then Bradley Bozeman is also impressed. He says he hasn't seen a guy like Young rattled at all, especially as a rookie. And to me, that's impressive because there's so much to learn about Young and his confidence, right? Guys, if you're just joining, make sure you pound that like button. That's all I ask. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep this ball rolling. All right, season outlook. All right, season outlook. All right. Oh, I think I forgot one more. You know what? I think I forgot one little bullet point, but that's fine. We'll still go over it. Season outlook. Now, wide receiver DJ Chark said back in June that everybody is here for him and they believe he can, take them to, higher places. Now, maybe not this season. We'll see. But, even David Tepper mentioned that Super Bowl, said that Young meant Super Bowls to the organization and, to him more than one, right? And it's a lot to ask for a rookie, but there's hope that Young can lead the Carolina to the playoffs in the NFC South, where there's no clear favorite in this division right now, right? And then the other question is any standout moments? Like, there have been a lot of wild moments in practice, But the one standout moment that was right before the joint practice against the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers, and quarterback looks up to Aaron Rodgers, but he dodged pressure, threw a sidearm past the Chark. I don't know if you remember this, and barely above the ground. And uh, Coach Wright said that it was an elite throw. So, and I remember seeing that pass from that. It was like one of the highlights that he made in that joint practice. And I think that's probably one of his standout moments right there. Obviously, we haven't got to see it in the preseason. Would love to see more of those kinds of standout moments, right? Hopefully, maybe we will tomorrow. So what about tough moments, right? Young's welcome, what Young's welcome to the NFL kind of moment happened on his first pass attempt in the preseason against the Jets, in my opinion. He got hit hard as he threw an 8-yard pass to Thielen for a first down. Right, even call it Young's welcome to the NFL moment. Now, Young didn't seem phased. He bounced right back up. This showed he could handle the pressure. And to me, it doesn't matter that he's not very tall or, very muscular, right? So, to me, that just proves how good this guy really is, right? He's composed, makes the right decisions, very humble young man. And I'm looking forward to what he can do once we get everything settled in, right? So appreciate everyone joining. Make sure you pound that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get right into the next thing here. Let's get right into the next thing. And I know this is going to be a big topic here for everyone. This one is probably going to be the most interesting one that we're going to dive into today. All right. So let's get into it. All right. So the 53-man roster, we're going to start with the special teams. This one's kind of self-explanatory, right? And now here's the thing with this 53-man roster. Okay. We're getting ready for the Detroit Lions. All right. And this is how I think that our roster is going to look once the 2023 season starts. Now, we're under new leadership. All right. We're trying to make this kind of like a strong comeback, right? But with the NFL preseason in progress, the pressure mounts for players on the fringe of making the cut, right? So while roster cuts are never easy, they can also provide opportunities for undrafted free agents to shine, create some remarkable stories across the league. And with Scott Fitter, Frank Wright, and the rest of the team decision makings, it's tough. They face tough choices when they're trimming down this roster. All right. And the roster has to be down to 53 players by August 29th, which is in the next 5 days. So for me, here is my predictions. Okay. So obviously we got special teams. You got Pinheiro, Hecker, JJ Jansen. I don't think I need to say any more. I mean, the special team unit returns. Johnny Hecker continues to be a top tier punter. Eddie Pinheiro, despite a groin issue, is expected to maintain his role and hopefully stay consistent as he did last year. And then long snapper reliability adds stability to this unit. So that I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory. All right, let's get into the next group. All right, so if you can read all of this, okay, let's get into the defensive group. Okay, defensive line. As you can see, Derek Brown, Shai Toto, and I'm going to dive into each of one of these. But let's start with the safety position, okay? So the safeties, okay? Von Bell, Jeremy Chin, Xavier Woods, Eric Rowe, Jamie Robinson, Sam Franklin, okay? Now, to me, the safety position appears to be the position of strength for the Panthers, all right? So with Von Bell adding a physical presence and turnover potential, Jeremy Chin's versatility is going to be key with this defense. Xavier Woods is set to be a starter. Eric Rowe, Jamie Robinson provide depth. And then while Sam Franklin is just a standout kind of special teams kind of guy, right? Let's go now. You look at the cornerbacks, okay? You got J.C. Horn, Dante Jackson, C.J. Henderson, Keith Taylor, Troy Hill. Now, obviously, I'm not putting these in any, like, order, right? I'm not saying, like, Keith Taylor's going to be above Troy Hill or anything like that. But the cornerback group remains largely unchanged from last year for the most part, right? Besides the Troy Hill pickup. Now, J.C. Horn's impact will be significant as long as he stays healthy. Same thing for Dante Jackson, right? The best ability is availability for J.C. Horn and Dante Jackson, okay? Which is crucial, I think, for this group. Now, C.J. Henderson and Keith Taylor offer solid depth, and I think Troy Hill, a veteran, adds experience to the secondary, which is great. So that's why I have them listed like this. Okay, linebackers: Shaq, Luvu, Deion Jones, Camus, Burns, Gross Matos, Houston, Haynes, DJ Johnson, Mari Barno, right? So with the shift to this 3-4 defense, I feel like the linebacker corps will play a pivotal role, obviously. Shaq, Jones, Camus anchor that inside linebacker group. Burns, Houston lead the edge rushers. Gross Matos, Haynes provide depth to rotate in and out. DJ Johnson and Barno are those guys are more development talents who will probably contribute on the special teams, right? Then you look at the defensive line, okay? Derek Brown, Shy Tuttle, Deshaun Williams, Henry Anderson, Raquan Williams, okay? Now, obviously, Derek Brown is expected to hopefully continue what he built off of last year because he was one of the league's top defensive tackles. Shy Tuttle brings experience to the interior, while Deshaun Williams adds pass rushing ability. And then Henry and Raquan Williams provide the depth on the defensive line, right? So that is my projection for this defense. All right. This is the projection I have for the defense. Feel free to leave a comment. Love to hear y'all's thoughts so far, especially about the 53-man roster defense. All right, let's move on. Y'all can't hear me? My audio should be fine. Yeah, y'all, my audio should be great. Got to speak up, G. I mean, my mic is literally right here. I'm surprised y'all can't hear me. Okay, let's move on, though. All right, so this is my 53-man roster. I just went through, at least for the defensive part, okay? Let's move on to the offense, okay? Now, obviously, you got your offensive line. You got Icky, Christensen, Bozeman, Zavala, Moton, Irving, McCray, and Mays. All right. Now, the offensive line is going to be crucial, right, when it comes to protecting our quarterbacks. Of course, Bryce Young, of course. Icky, despite the preseason hiccups, anchors the line. Christensen, Bozeman, Zavala, Moton complete the starting unit. And then McCray, Mays, and Cameron offer depth and injury insurance. So they're just depth pieces. So that's why I put 10 of them on there. No, I put 8. My bad. I put 8. So then you go into the tight end position, right? All right. So you got Hurst. His arrival brings hope for an improved passing game. Ian Thomas, great at blocking. His pass catching ability, I'm not too sure about. To me, it's 50-50, right? Tommy Tremble, primarily he's a blocker, adds versatility. I'd like to see more of him, right? Giovanni Ricci, obviously I put fullback, ability to contribute. He's more of a contributor on the special team. And he earns himself as a roster spot, probably as the fullback, right? Wide receivers, you got Thielen, Chark, Marshall, Mingo, Chenault, Shy, right? Now, the wide receiver group has made some significant changes into 2023. Thielen, he brings in that veteran leadership to me. Chark has that speed and is an asset if he stays healthy, right? Mingo, along with Marshall, adds youth and potential. As long as Marshall can come back healthy and remain healthy. LaVisca brings versatility to the mix. Could be possibly maybe seeing maybe a Debo Samuel style with him. I'm not too sure. I would love to see that. I don't know if they'll run that kind of scheme with him. Shi Smith, he contributes more as a depth piece, but as a receiver, but he will be more of our return specialist, right? Then you go into running backs, okay? Miles Sanders, okay? Acquired him in free agency. He adds depth and talent to the running back room. Chuba, he showed some promise last year, right? And I think he'll be a valuable backup. I think Blackshear's versatility makes him an asset, especially in the return game as well. So that's who I have into the running back room. And then in quarterbacks, we all know Bryce, Andy Dalton, Matt Corral, right? Rookie Bryce Young takes the helm as the franchise quarterback. Andy Dalton provides experience, backup, and mentorship. Corral, despite some preseason struggles, continues to develop and adds depth. So for me, the Panthers are trying to build a competitive team here. A well-rounded roster for this season. As the preseason finale approaches, these predictions that I've made here, I feel like I've provided some insight for you guys into the potential makeup of this team. So I hope that y'all like it. I'll run back through again here. So here's your special teams. It's kind of obvious, right? And then I went through the defensive line, the linebackers, the corners, safeties. If there's anybody that's not on this list on the defense, let me know. Like, from the defensive standpoint, if there's somebody on here that you don't agree with, or you do agree with, let me know. Like, this is my projection right here, at least from the defensive standpoint. I mean, I think it's kind of I feel like this is going to be it. It just depends on who they decide to cut. Obviously, who fits the scheme, right? Unless they decide to bring somebody in that, off of waivers. But this is what I see transpiring once we get ready for week 1. From a defensive standpoint. And then, obviously, the offense. Quarterbacks, running backs, offensive line, wide receivers, and tight ends. And obviously, you can see down there on the tight ends, I got Richie at the fullback position. So let me know what y'all think. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream today. Again, going to continue to be live every single day, bringing you this kind of content. It's not easy making these slides either like this. It is a pain in the butt, boys. Sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think. We went over the recent news and updates. How good is Bryce Young? We went over that, and then we went over through the 53-man roster. So I appreciate everyone joining. If you're just tuning in, feel free to get in the comment section. Make sure you pound that like button. That's all I ask. Now, from the offensive standpoint, is there anything you don't agree with? That's something I would like to know from y'all. but I feel like our team is kind of already set. I mean, I don't see anybody else making the team besides the roster that I have made. So tomorrow, tomorrow I'll be live again. Gonna probably do. We'll talk about the game, predictions, all that stuff. Um, we're gonna dive into that. Guys that we need to look out for into this third preseason that's kind of fighting for a roster spot, right? We'll dive into that as well. Also, we'll probably dive into let's see what else we'll dive into. I have a list of things I want to go over tomorrow. Yeah, we'll dive into. Oh, I want to talk more about Thomas Brown tomorrow. We're going to be talking more about Thomas Brown and the play calling. We'll probably do the Carolina Panthers versus the Lions. We'll probably do like the odds, like some betting thing. So because of Bet USA, probably also talk about some guys to look out for this upcoming season that is going to be making this roster. So guys who are going to make an impact on this roster, I think, from a standpoint going into the season. And then we'll do a Lions, Carolina Panthers Lions prediction. And yeah. So we got some stuff to talk about tomorrow. So again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button, subscribe. Does minor injuries occur in the wide receiver room make you nervous? Yeah, I mean, it does, right? I mean, Chark, if he stays healthy, he's an asset because of his speed and his skill set. I think that with, Chenault's concussion protocol, that happens, I mean, I think that's going to happen. And then with Terrace Marshall's back, I was expecting big things from him this year. I was hoping that he'd be a breakout guy for us. But with Thielen, Mingo, and got other guys like, that's where Mingo and Shy and Thielen are going to have to come in and play and come to play and step up for us because, it is a concern. It's the same thing. It's the same concern that I have with, the cornerback room, right? That's another concern. The best ability is availability when it comes to NFL football, and with Dante Jackson and J.C. Horn getting injured and not playing a full season, that is a huge concern. That's a big concern to me. So, but that's why you bring depth. That's why you have practice squad to bring up guys, right? Too. So, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, they're minor injuries, luckily. But what if something actually does happen to with a big injury? You have to be able to fill the depth and make sure that, that we have the pieces around us to make sure that we can fill the voids when it does happen. But Laviska's injury doesn't concern me. I don't know the severity of DJ Chark's injury yet. I mean, we know that he had it's a hamstring injury, but we don't know the severity of it yet because they keep kind of brushing it off when it comes into the press conferences. And then I don't know how bad Terrace Marshall's back injury is, but I don't even know how bad it really is, but it sounds like Laviska is going to be ready. Apparently he'll be ready to go week 1, but I don't know if that's true or not. So again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound the like button. As always, it's all I ask. feel free to get in the comment section. Already went through the news and updates. How good is Bryce Young? 53-man roster. This will be, posted. And if, you're just joining and you missed out, you'll be able to always go back and watch it. I always record these so that you'll be able to go back and, rewatch it. So again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream today. I'm going to hop off of here. I might go live later. I haven't decided yet. I might go live later before the preseason games start, but I will announce that like a couple hours before if I do decide to go live later on. So be on the lookout for that. And then I'll be live again tomorrow, and I'll be also getting other content out to you guys today as well later on. So again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. As always, just make sure you pound the like button. That's all I ask. And feel free to follow me through, check out the Discord, check out BetUSA, sign up for free today, get 125% bonus. And also feel free to follow me on any of my social media. All right. But the Discord is a good way to connect with me like on a text message level. So, and it's free. Everything's free, guys. So, and I think at the end of the month, before the season starts, I'm going to do a nice giveaway. I'm going to do a nice giveaway for the subscribers. So if you're subscribed, be on the lookout. I got a nice little giveaway I'm going to do. All right. So again, appreciate everyone joining today. Make sure you pound the like button. And as always, guys, y'all know what to do. Keep pounding. Peace.